If you could see inside my head to see how I think about finances, this is what it would look like. I love talking about finances. A lot of people on YouTube don't go to my channel for those. They like the Air Force stuff. I've talked about the Air Force. I'm kind of out of ideas on what to say about the Air Force, but I'll still make those videos as I come up with some good ideas. The financial ideas, this is actually priceless, I would say so, because I think it's good information. I have a list of items that I'm going to share with you. This is how I think when it comes to finances. First of all, I don't pay late fees, and that's because I don't get late fees. When I was in my early 20s, I would get late fees here and there, occasional. One of them is too many of them, in the sense that anytime there's a late fee, it could be $15, $30, whatever that may be, it's throwing away your money. At this point in my life, I do not get late fees. That's how come I don't pay them. The other thing is interest. Interest to me is a bad word. There is an exception with a mortgage, maybe one car payment, but if possible, limit the amount of interest that we as individuals pay, that you as an individual pay, because it's throwing away your money. We don't have a mortgage. We actually sold our house 2 weeks ago. I'm in the new house right now. However, we're renting it until 4 days. In 4 days, we're closing on this house. And the process to buy a house was very painful, which is crazy. That's a video for another day. So in 4 days, we're supposed to close on this. Yes, I'm going to have a mortgage, and I'll talk about that specifically in a different video. I can't wait to make that video. I can't wait to close on this house and show you the house and tell you what my plan is if you're interested. So mortgage is okay, but interest in credit cards, in rent to own, anything like that is a waste of money. You're throwing away your money, so don't do that. My wife and I have one credit card. We've had it for a long time. It's a joint account. We use it for gasoline or for this or for that, but we pay in full every month. In fact, I make payments more than once because it's so easy to electronically pay it online, so we do that. We do not pay interest on credit cards, even though when I was a youngster, I used to do that. Next thing is I like to pay cash or use my debit card as much as possible because it's already paid for, closed. Closed in the sense that you buy, you pay, and it's closed. There's nothing like how much is interest going to be. So I like to pay cash. I like to use my debit card as well. As I get older, I like to minimize the accounts that I have. We only have one credit card, and we're going to have a mortgage, and that's it. And everything else is a cell phone bill, utilities, things like that. It's actually good to get paid and keep your money. When we moved to this property 2.5 weeks ago, it was a lot of work. My wife and I I was out 5 days to make the move happen. And when I went back to work, my wife sent me a text saying, I think you have more stuff than I do. And you know what? She's probably right. I'm a collector of shirts, jerseys, music, Starbucks mugs, things like that. And it was painful to move all that stuff here. So I said to myself, I have too much stuff. I've already donated or given away a lot of stuff, from shirts to music to things like that. I'm very cautious as to what I buy now with my money, just in the last 2 weeks, because it's overkill. It's a lot of stuff. Why do I need all those t-shirts? Most of them I get at thrift shops, but I don't need all those t-shirts. So I'm trying to minimize what I have and just keep the good stuff and give away stuff, either to the thrift shops or to people that I know that would appreciate it. Speaking of thrift shops, with my money I like to buy at thrift shops when possible. That doesn't mean that everything I have is used or from a thrift shop. I went to a Raiders-Broncos game yesterday with my friend, and my jersey was from a thrift shop. The shirt underneath that said Raiders was from a thrift shop. The jeans that I had was from a thrift shop. And my friend knows me already, so he just laughed. He kind of expected it like that. But that's, in my opinion, smart when you can actually save money buying used. Again, not everything has to be used. I when it comes to finances, in my mind here is I pay attention. Attention to what? I pay attention to my accounts. I review the invoice or the monthly statement. Is it accurate? If I have a question, I ask why. If I'm supposed to get a credit, I verify that the credit comes in. Is it going to be done electronically? Is it going to be sent by check? I ask those questions. I pay attention to my accounts. I pay attention to my investments that I have. I track to see that it is performing well, or is there something else that can perform better? I don't have to have the high risk, high reward because I have no debt, we have money saved up, and I want to ensure that maybe that 8% or that 10% or that 12% of performance in my investments is good enough for me. And if that's the case, press forward. I don't take every offer that's out there for free or for discount. Or do you want to upsize your drink? Or do you want HBO and Cinemax for free? No, thank you. I don't need it. Even when they offer it. If it's a weekend that it comes on and it comes off, so be it. But I don't have the time either to be calling my account holder and say, hey, I need you to stop this or add this or that. It just takes too much time. Give you an example. Satellite radio, I don't need it. I have CDs that I buy at thrift shops, or music in my car, or sports radio or news radio. That's good enough for me. Movie channels, HBO, Cinemax, I'm not going to pay for that. Netflix, I've tried it twice, but I wasn't real happy with the quality of the movies. Not the quality of the movies, but the selection of the movies. So I'd rather just save those $10 or $9 or whatever it is and not have that. I don't like to keep loose change in my car or in my drawer because that's money that can just be going towards something else, especially if I have interest. And that is, like I said, in a few days when I close on this house and I have a mortgage again, it's going to be a small mortgage. I'm going to show you how I'm going to attack that mortgage and pay it off as quick as possible. Look forward to making that video. Do I pick up change from the ground? I do. A penny, a dime, a quarter, $5, whatever it is. The only exception is if it's just in a puddle of mud or gooey stuff. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'll pass. But I do pick it up. I think every penny counts. I don't care if it's heads or tails facing upwards. I don't like to waste money on things that I won't use. Perfect example is when I moved here, like I said just a few moments ago, I had a lot of t-shirts, a lot of music that I don't listen to, or shirts that I don't wear. It's time for that stuff to go. So I'm very cautious as to what I buy. I will only buy if I will use it. If not, no. I take care of what I have. Whether it's my car, whether it's music, whether it's my relationship, whether it's my friendships, whether it's my wife, my children, I take care of what I have. And doing so helps me because it saves me money. My car is old, but I take care of it, and it takes me 84 miles each way to work, 84 miles back. Those days are coming to an end. I have 8 months, and I'm going to retire and be working here in Colorado Springs. Financial mind is I'm a planner. I like planning. Planning is good. It reduces my stress. It saves me money. It makes things easier. Now, do things happen in life that weren't planned? Yes, that happens to all of us. The next thing may shock you, but I love to spend money. I like to travel. I like to go out and do things, new places. And I don't worry about money now at this point in my life. But the reason I am the way I am is because of how I started when I first got married and juggling finances, and I was embarrassed. I've talked about that before. I maximize opportunities. I maximize them all the time. I knew I was going to be working for the Air Force active duty for 3 years, double my income, and then it comes to an end. Of course, I could continue. I just don't want to. I'm going back to civil service, where I'm going to lose half of my pay, a little bit more than half of my pay, but I'm fine with that because I've maximized. So far, it's been 2 years and 4 months being on this active duty tour. But I maximize life, or I try to. I'm aware. Let's see. I do have notes here, as you can tell. I do like to give. My wife and I like to give to our church, to our friends, to whoever. We don't even have to know the person. I'm not going to say this video is about look at me, I'm a giver. No, it's a sensitive topic because that's part of who we are, and we do like to do that as well, and it feels really good to do that. My preacher from church contacted me and said, hey, do you want to teach Financial Peace University for the church? I said, I'd love to do that. I said, I'm the right person to do that. So he's going to let me know if there's interest, and I'm very excited. If that happens, I'll talk about that in a different video as well. I like to learn about finances. I like to listen to the radio or watch people or watch television on finances. But I don't always think in finances. I do have a life. I do a lot of things in life that has nothing to do with finances. I like to teach finances as well. This YouTube channel is a perfect example of me sharing thoughts, experiences, challenges, celebrations with you, anybody who watches this. And I do this all the time, even at work or with my friends. I keep my financial opinion to myself. The only exception is somebody asks me, hey, what would you do? Then if they're asking me for my input, I'm definitely going to give it to them. And I don't have anything to gain or to lose, or I don't sell anything. It's just, hey, my intentions are good. I love doing this. It's called my calling. I follow the rules most of the time. 99% of the time I follow the rules. But I also make up my own rules. What rules? Rules in my life when it comes to finances and when it comes to living my life, my strategy. I make up my own rules. I know the rules that work for me. I know the rules that don't. I like to, like I said just earlier in the video, keep most of my paycheck when I get paid. And that's because I don't have payments. And when I was younger, I had payments and I'd be broke 3 days after pay period. And it wasn't fun. And that's how come I am who I am, because of my beginning. And that's a good thing, because I learned earlier when I was in my 20s, early 20s, and my 30s were better. And now in my 40s are better as well. When it comes to payments, we live in a society where it's so easy to get what we want, even if we can't afford it, because we're going to focus more, can I afford the monthly payment? And that's the mentality that I would love for anybody, especially the younger people, to say, that's not going to be me. And that's a good thing. My wife and I have built wealth. When I say wealth, it means that we are, like I said, I don't really think about finances anymore. It's on autopilot. I live my life every week, every day. There are times when I think about finances, often, but for the most part, it's on autopilot. And what I mean by that is I know what I'm going to earn, where it's going, how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen. I know all those details, and I know that in my mind. When my wife asks me questions, I give her the information. That's it. And when she provides input, I make adjustments. We make adjustments, and it works for us. When I say we build wealth, I don't want to come across as an individual who thinks about money, 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 greedy, 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 don't spend. No, we're not like that. We're just easygoing people. We're regular people. But it's crazy how our net worth is rising. When I say net worth, I'm not talking about our self-worth as individuals. And there's nothing wrong with an individual that doesn't have money. I've been there, but I just don't want to be there again. It's a comfortable thing. Like I go to sleep at night at peace, wake up, and if it's in my control, I'm not worried about it. When it comes to depending on something else from someone else, I'm worried about it. Perfect example is the closing on Friday for this house. They want a document. I'll provide it if I have access to it. It was very painful to get that document. It took me 4 weeks. Now they're asking for it again. And I'm thinking, why are you letting me know 4 days ahead of me? Now I have to run tomorrow at work and contact San Antonio, the Air Force, and say, hey, can I get that document again? Sidetracked, but that's just the way it is. Oh, so to determine your net worth, this is how it works. You calculate what you have that's worth something, then you subtract that's called an asset, then you subtract your liabilities, whether it's payment or how much you owe on it. So when you subtract your liabilities from your assets, that's going to tell you what your net worth is. I'm extremely deliberate when it comes to finances because that's what works for me. Like I said, at this point, it's on autopilot. We have some grand ideas for this property that I can't share yet because it's not our property, but when we close on this house, I'm going to make that video. I'm going to show you what this place looks like, more details, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to attack the mortgage, which is only $112,000, considering this property is 4 times more. It's worth more than what it is. We're just putting a lot of money down. I like that. To me, that's fun though. The $11 lunch is the exception, not the norm. I prefer, if I'm going out to eat lunch, to spend 6 or 7 than 11. Now, do I ever go out with my wife or my friends and just spend more than that? Yes, it happens, and it happens a lot. But I'd rather not do that every single day, Monday through Friday at lunch. I do take my lunch to work often, but not every day. I don't pay for soft drinks because they're $2.50 at a restaurant, unless it comes with the combo. I just drink water. I do like soft drinks, Sprite, lemonade, stuff like that. I used to love Coca-Cola, but I don't drink it anymore. It's been a year and a half, a little bit more. I don't stress out about finances at this point in my life. For the most part, I don't. I used to when I was younger, and it's not a lot of fun. It's not fun, period. I know in the end, anything that I have, I will not be able to take with me. I know that. So this is mine for now, but it's not forever. So what I want to do is live life. It's not about materialistic things, at least for me. That's like I like to travel and do things and have experiences with people and my family and my friends. But maybe one day this will be for my children or my grandchildren or people in my life that I'm going to say, hey, this is for you, this is for you, this is for you. And my wife and I are going to do that. I've also learned that I don't need it all. I like things, but I don't have to have it all. That's something that I've probably learned recently, not too long ago. And then when I went out to do some errands today on this Panda Express napkin, I wrote some things. Don't be sloppy. You can be sloppy. I used to be sloppy financially or with my schedule or with this or with that. And I learned that it caused stress or it would backfire or I was broke. Don't be sloppy, not only with your finances, but with who you are as an individual, to include your health. Go out there, exercise, take some time, invest in yourself. It's not all about finances. Health is better than wealth. Health is priceless. Go out there and make it happen. I have 2 more things to talk about. Go out there and make it happen. Make what happen? Your life, your success. Don't be the individual. Got cut off, and I caught it, luckily. Don't be the individual that is on the phone with the Social Security Administration or the VA or the lawyer, because what I mean by that is the individual that's trying to call Social Security so you can get your disability rating and get that money. Because if you don't have it, you're going to be in a bad situation. Or with the VA, same thing. I know a lot of people who are out there just fighting to get their VA rating increased so they can get more money every month. If it's something that is documented and you're entitled to, you're going to get it, whether it's through Social Security or the VA compensation. When I said don't be on the phone talking to the lawyer, I'm talking about somebody in your family died and their estate is going to give you something, and now you're fighting with your brothers or sisters or your cousins or your family saying, hey, this is for me, what about my piece? Go out there and make it happen. Instead, my wife and I started from 6 pieces of luggage, our son, ourselves, and that's it. And a lot of times I was embarrassed. That's how we started. We didn't have anything. We started from the ground and we built up. We made it happen. If something happens where we inherit something, so be it. But if it doesn't really matter, because we are going to make things happen on our own. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video, because it's a lot of nuggets that I live by. A lot of them I've learned through the School of Hard Knocks or by making mistakes. And hopefully you as an individual can get at least 1 or more things from this video to apply to your life. It's not something that I was taught. I wish it would have been something I would have been taught, so I would have been proactive. It was something that I learned from, again, like I said, making my mistakes or watching and observing others. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Take care. Have a great day.